everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel, and this is your tip of the week. Now, in past tips of the week, I've shown you plastic snaps, which is what these are, all these different colors. You can also use metal snaps, and they have a variety of different looks to them. And then, of course, the easiest one is the good old Velcro, which is usually my go-to, but sometimes you want something just a little nicer. So I'm going to show you one more way that you can close something other than using these. These are magnetic snap closures, and I bought mine off of Amazon, and you can get them in a bulk pack. So if you sew and sell, that's the best way to buy your supplies, is in bulk. So to put on a magnetic closure, you need one of these. It's got two little prongs out on the back. Then it's got this little bump that comes out. And you need one of these for that side. And then over here, you have another one that looks like this. It's a little thicker, and it's also got two little prongs sticking out. And then, of course, you need one of these. So I'm going to show you how to put it on the inside of a tote bag. Now, if you look real close right here, you'll see some stitching around here. So you're going to want to use thread that matches the fabric that it's on. Otherwise, it's going to show a lot. Now, if that doesn't bother you, then don't worry about it. But for some of you, it may be an issue. So I've actually got the magnetic closure. Here it is. One is on this side, and I've got it attached to the lining. And then on this side, it's attached to the lining for the other side of the bag. So here's my pretend lining. On the back of the lining, I've put a piece of interfacing on each piece, because this is going to be for one side of the bag, this is for the other side of the bag. So you take that flat little disc, and there's these little holes in there. You want to make a mark inside of the two long ones, not the center one. And then, of course, you would do it over on the other piece. Do the same thing. Mark on the two larger holes. Then you take these away, and then you would take your lining fabric, fold it right in the middle of where your little markings are. And then you're going to take a small pair of scissors and cut a little slit on both of them. And you would go over to the other side and do the same thing. So here is the back side where the interfacing is. Now flip it over to the front. Take the two little prongs and insert them in the holes. All right, once you got them in the holes, then you take your flat disc, if I can get a hold of it, and insert it right over that. And you would do the same thing on the other side. And then once you've got it on, you're going to open the prongs and press them down. So sorry, my hand is in the way. And there you go. And you do the same thing on both sides. Let me flip it over. Okay, so there you have your magnetic snap. So no matter what project you're making, you're going to attach it to the lining first before your bag is put together, and then continue stitching the rest of your project together. This is a banner that I made a few years ago that, you can hang on the outside of your door, or just hang it on the wall and inside your house. The thing that I want to talk about on this is up here at the very top where the wooden dowel is inserted. And I've had a few viewers ask me how they can add a wooden dowel to something they were making. So I'm going to give you some tips on how to go about doing that. This is a banner I made a few years ago, and it's from one of my tutorials on how to make this patriotic table runner. So the table runner was really long, but I had a lot of fabric left over and I wanted to go ahead and make a banner. But as I was putting it together, I didn't think about how I was going to get the dowel up here at the top. So let me show you how to do that. You can buy wooden dowels from Walmart, but not all Walmarts carry Fabric and Crafts, but they have a variety of sizes at Walmart. You can also go and get them at Joann Fabrics and Crafts, and I believe that Michael's Crafts also carries them. And I'm sure if you have other major craft stores in your area, you'd be able to find them. You could probably even go to a hardware store. But let's say you can't get a wooden dowel, and your banner's not too wide. If you have a chopstick, you can put it up at the top. I'm going to use bias tape to make the casing to hold this little chopstick. And so your bias tape is folded several times. So I'm going to unfold it. You'll see it's got two more folds. Well, because this chopstick is so narrow, this bias tape is going to fit just fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press it flat. Okay, cut it longer than your dowel or your chopstick. And then at each end of the bias tape, fold the end over and press it. And again, do it at this end also. That way you hide that raw edge. And now you're going to take it and put it near the top edge, very close to the top edge, and center it. Now, up here on the front side of the top edge, I'm using a light blue thread. I'm going to use that same color again, and I'm going to stitch close to the edge of this all the way across so that the blue thread will not be noticeable. But I still need to tack this edge down. Well, if you can still use that blue thread and you don't have anything else up there, then of course you could just stitch across and it probably won't be noticeable. But if I stitch across the points of these stars right in here, it's going to be very noticeable. So you have an option here of go ahead and stitching with your sewing machine, or do a hand whip stitch across this edge. And then when you're done, you just insert your dowel in there. Now you have several options for hanging your banner. You could take a piece of ribbon or fabric that you folded in half several times and then stitch it closed. This is just a piece of ribbon. You could take it and stitch it right at the top, bring them close together, and stitch across there again at the top edge of your banner. Now, if you live in a windy area, things are going to rock and roll. Like where I live, it's very windy. You could even do it like this, where you take a longer piece of ribbon and stitch it on the back side. As I was creating this banner, the dowel was stitched inside as I was making it. So if you want to make a banner and you want to know how to get it in there while you're making it, I'm going to have a link listed below your YouTube screen in which it'll show you how to do this. Now this next tip I have for you, I've talked about in the past tips that I've had, but I just want to remind you again, this is a bag of polyfill stuffing. It's the 12-ounce size. It's the small one. On the small bags, they give you a pattern for a variety of projects. This one, I believe, is a doll. There's the picture right up here. So you could make a little stuffed doll. I've gotten so many of these. I have one here that's for a teddy bear. Here's the little bear and gives you all of the pieces. I've even have one for a hedgehog. And let me show you one more I've gotten. This is an elephant. And when I made it, I was able to find elephant fabric. I don't know if you can find it again, but where you go to get even more projects like this is go to PellonProjects.com. They have a lot of fun items. They also have a great description of all of their products, all of their different types of stuffing, their different types of batting, and different interfacings that are fusible and non-fusible. So if you want more information, just go to, again, PellonProjects.com. And I will have a link down below your YouTube screen that'll take you to this tutorial, and it'll show you how easy it is to make those patterns that are on the bag. Now, I don't know if Pellon still has this at their website, but check it out. You just might find it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tip of the week and that you've learned something new that maybe will inspire you to do some of these projects. Now, everything that I've talked about in this tutorial, plus all of the goodies on the wall that you see back there, you will find links to those below your YouTube screen in the description section. So you just scroll down, click on Show More or the down arrow, and you'll see a list appearing of all those links. Now, I also have cross-stitch tips that come out about twice a month. So if you're interested in learning more about cross-stitch, look for those links also. Now, make sure you also follow me on Instagram and check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl, this is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.